observation, and I think this is very fascinating, that you have to either subscribe to evolution, that as human beings we evolved over time from primates, or you believe that we were created by God, a series of gods, however you want to say it, and we were already created as man, but we did not evolve. Either or. The reason this is fascinating to me is because I personally have yet to meet a person who was not religious who also did not subscribe to evolution. And naturally, and I understand it, I get it, to someone who truly subscribes to evolution, they think religion is silly. To the religious person, they look at the concept of evolving from a primate, and that seems silly. Granted, I'm very aware of tribalism, this concept that you're one side or the other, then you look at the other side and say, you know what, you're ignorant, you're immoral, you're wrong. And I'm making this video outside that context to say, yes, obviously, I'm on the side of the theist. I do not subscribe to evolution. I'm on that side. But it's not for me to say that you believe in evolution? Well, you're stupid. You're ignorant. No, not at all. I have no interest in saying you're wrong, because identity protective cognition. If I tried to convince you otherwise, it only cause you to get all amped up and want to defend your stance. Not interested in that. Not interested in a debate. What I'm interested in is there anybody watching this video who would simply be willing to agree with me about the actual conversation? This is not a debate on evolution or religion. Instead, all I'm testing you for, all I'm searching in the comments for, are anyone out there who's willing to say, you know what, you're right. It's pretty much either one or the other. It's very difficult for a person who is in the scientific community to subscribe to a God that created humans and they just started out as humans. And it's very difficult for a person who believes truly that God created people to believe that we evolved from primates. But as far as there being in between, you basically by default must subscribe to evolution unless you have a religion. So even people who are not that big into science and people who are not that big into religion, it seems like the default is still evolution. I think that's interesting. Could I remind you once again, this is not a debate. This is not to prove the other side wrong, immoral, ignorant. No. One simple task. Is there anyone out there in the comments who can simply say, yes, you're right about the simple point you're wanting to make? And that is, you have to perceive that we evolved from primates, or you have to perceive that we were created by some kind of God. And there's pretty much no in between. There's no widely accepted answer other than that. And of course, that only increases this concept that we are so polarized and that we demonize the other side. I hope you see that despite being on one side, I am not here to say that one is better than the other. I'm saying that both exist. But yet ultimately, it's evolution that wins the contest as far as if a person is not religious or scientific, then it's assumed you still are going to be more likely to subscribe to evolution, which again, to a religious person sounds so silly that we came from monkeys. But equally silly is the person who subscribes to evolution and believes that we were created by a God. Can you agree and not debate? Can you agree and say, yeah, there's really not much in between. It's one or the other, isn't it? Your comments, not a debate, right here.